Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Mosaic Change Agent Network Forum for February 5th. A few items before we get started. Please make sure your first name and last name is displaying correctly. To do this while in Zoom, navigate to the meeting control bar and select Participants. In the participant panel, hover your mouse over your name, then select the ellipsis button on the right. Then select Rename. Once the pop-up box opens, enter your full first and last name. Once complete, select the Change button to finalize. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts prohibits the use of generative artificial intelligence, AI recording or transcription tools. Please do not activate a recording or transcription tool during this meeting. This meeting will be recorded with live transcription enabled. The recording will be made available to the Commonwealth attendees. All participants will be on mute during the presentation. Please feel free to ask questions, submit your question via the chat, or raise your virtual hand during our Q&A session period. Today's agenda, we will hear from our BEST program manager, Helen O'Malley. Then we will move to some of the Change Agent Network activity. We will hear from our training team some of the training updates. Then we will move to cutover. Then we will discuss attachments. And finally, we will conclude with Mosaic Go Live Help Desk. At the end, we will open it up for a Q&A. So please hold your question until the end of the session. Now, I would like to welcome our BEST program manager, Helen O'Malley.
Thank you, Abbas. I want to thank all of you guys on the call for sticking with us, some of you for as long as 2 years. We are literally inches away from go live. We have a meeting with our sponsors tomorrow to review our readiness, which is at a very high level, and to get their final approval to begin the cutover tasks that will bring Mars down and bring Mosaic up over about a 1.5 to 2 week period. There's a lot of information on this deck, and Shepo is here to reiterate that schedule of activities in Mars and then in Mosaic to remind you of what you need to be doing. But I do want to share with you that you all have been a big, big part of getting us here. And I want to thank you. I will let you know for sure, right? Because the sponsors are the people who make the ultimate decision, but it looks good. So Abbas, back to you and to the team that will take us through this totally jam-packed deck.
Thank you very much, Helen. All right, so for Change Agent Network activity, as we get closer to go live, we have been sharing so much information and resources, and we wanted to just recap some of those resources available to end users and Mosaic users, and we want to make sure that they are aware of their existence and where they can go to access them. On the following slide right here, we have divided the slides into one half is please to complete the following actions, and on the right-hand side, to please share these resources and make sure that your colleagues within your agency are aware of these helpful information. So point 1 of the actionable items, we would like you to block some time on your calendar to be available for the end user to answer their questions, concern during the freeze cutover period. This is a great time to bring people up to speed where we are in the transformation. Some people may be looking for specific trainings or resources or have questions about the support that we will have before go live, during go live, and post go live. Second item here is to review the new Mosaic interface policy. We do have the link on the right-hand side, and please submit requests if needed. Please confirm that all the users are on the DSO list for Mosaic access. The following list are mainly for you, the change agent, to confirm that everyone within your agency has access to these systems. So first system here is the Power DMS. This is where job aids for Mosaic can be accessed. People will need to have a Power DMS login ID and password to access it. CTR Learning Center, this is where all the training will be available for end user to view and see and look up. And finally, the CTR Solution Help Desk, this is to enter any ticket related to the Mosaic transformation. Also, we would like the end users, all the users, to take the training, utilize the freeze and the cutover period to review and refresh any training that they have previously took or they need to take. We encourage all the users not to wait until the cutover. It's a lot of information out there. There's so many training. It's helpful to take the training once and continue to retake it as a refresher. Be aware of the Mosaic resources. We have created a Mosaic resource library on the CTR internet. This is where we house the weekly updates on a regular basis, and this is also some of the updates shared on the Mosaic Monday newsletter. Also, to be able to use Mosaic, there are some requirements for the browser, and we have put a list here to check if your browser meets the requirement of Mosaic. And finally, we would like the users to schedule some times for all of these activities, including the pre-cutover activities, the training, the functional, the boot camps, as well as the Mosaic celebratory login. Again, to touch on some of the resources that are currently available is the Mosaic Resource Library on the CTR internet. We encourage everyone to save their Mars favorite pages, as those favorites will not carry over automatically from Mars to Mosaic. We have shared here instruction on how to do that. Also, we have included the Mars to Mosaic transaction crosswalk, pre-cutover activity calendar. We also have a list of training that are available as well as coming up. These training including the self-paced as well as the instructor-led live sessions. Now, I would like to pass it over to our training team, April McCabe, Learning and Development Manager, to take us through some of the updates with the training.
Thank you, Boss. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, a few members of our training team will be presenting on various topics, including myself, the Best Training Lead, and April McCabe, CTR Learning and Development Manager. We also have with us Elena Fulbert, Program Trainer. She will talk a little bit about job aids. And then later on, Jim Stella, also Program Trainer, will do a presentation on attachments. And now I'll pass it to April to speak a bit about the training completions and other training events coming up soon.
Thank you very much, Abbas and Lorana. So good morning, everyone. My name is April McCabe. Happy to be here today. This is a call to action. It is very important that departments complete their Mosaic introductory training. The Mosaic introductory training courses are Mosaic Navigation and Terminology Virtual Classroom Training and the Mosaic Foundational Learning Path Self-Paced Training. It's very important for the current Mars users and future Mosaic users, of course, to complete one of these training courses. Also, CTR's annual internal controls certification, the ICC, requires all financial application users to complete introductory training. So we definitely want to meet that requirement by completing the Mosaic introductory training. This training is critical to day one user preparedness. Understanding Mosaic's user interface, including homepage features, business roles, navigation tools, and Mosaic terminology will ensure day one competence to smoothly proceed with financial transactions. Please encourage your Department Mars users and those future Mosaic users, of course, to complete this training soon. And your leadership and advocacy are key to building readiness and momentum toward a successful transition. So we really need you to carry this message to your Mars users ASAP and ask them to enroll in the virtual classroom training or also enroll in the self-paced training and just complete one of them by go live day. Next slide, please. And this is the fun part. We are very excited to invite you to join us on February 23rd for the Mosaic Celebratory Login. We'll log in to Mosaic together hourly between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Please enroll in the CTR Learning Center for this special event. Space is limited. And now I'll turn it back over to Lorana.
Thank you, April. Just continuing on the same theme as April. This slide shows the instructor-led trainings that will be available in the next couple of weeks. I'd like to reiterate April's message that there are many functional area demos being held now and in the future, especially the foundational Mosaic navigation and terminology training. That one is being repeated every week. It's an important first step before users actually take the functional area training. So please encourage your agencies to register for their relevant training, and especially, as I mentioned, the navigation and terminology session. And if they haven't done so already, to go ahead and register. And the next slide is just kind of another view of the instructor-led demo areas and their status of the current and future enrollment opportunities. We built them on a repeating schedule to offer flexible options that will fit into anyone's schedule. And just to continue on, and now I'll pass it on to Elena to talk a little bit about job aids. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Elena Fobert, functional teams, as well as the assistant comptrollers and getting job aids up and running and converted over from Mars job aids. So with today, I want to give you kind of a preview of what you're going to see very shortly. Couple of things I've got. First, we have this getting started document that kind of goes through, and I'll do a quick link of that when I'm able to share my screen. Basically, we've looked at job aids to find out what it was or what it is that will be most important for you guys. I mean, we heard you, we knew that, you know, the job aids had some pain points, and we tried to fix as many of those as possible. So a couple of things that we want to just remind people of is that the job aids are now really intended for just user support. They're not going to be used for standalone training. We have many of other training options available to supplement that. So this is really for, you know, hands-on training while you're in the application. The background information and overview information that was in the front of the job aids, we've minimized them. You'll now see some applicable links to policies if they apply. The job aids were vetted and approved by the functional teams and the assistant comptrollers. So we've gone through everything. We've removed what may have been outdated and updated everything. We've got a fewer number of job aids, so you're not going to see nearly as many as you were. However, there's going to be greater efficiency that'll go along with that. Also, the job aids are going to change as the business changes, especially during the stabilization period. So you're not going to need to download anything, and I'll show you how easy it will be to get to them while you're in the application. Can we move to the next screen, please? So the job aids, where you're going to find them, I'll show you a quick demo of this. There'll be quick links, and the quick links are based off of the job role. And every quick link at the top will open up the job role, will open up an index that'll include all job aids listed for that particular job role. And the user will click on the link that's within the index to get directly to the specific job aid. And all the job aids, as usual, are going to be hosted in Power DMS, just like they were in Mars. We have a specific folder for them for right now. That structure may change, but rest assured, all the links will be the same. So no matter what happens, you'll be taken to the correct place. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we'll take you through a quick demo. Okay, everyone can see my screen correctly? Okay, great. All right, so based on your job role, which is up in the top corner here, we have the accounts payable job role. If I click on this job aids quick link, it's going to take me directly to Power DMS, and the first time you access it, you will be asked to sign in. And it'll take you directly to this index. Now, the index contains all of the job aids that are going to apply to this particular job role. And as you can see, we are now in Power DMS. So if I want to look at one particular one, and I'm going to show the one that I had the demo of, the example of in there. And this is what the job aid looks like. A couple of things I want to point out. So again, very brief description up at the top. Any important information will be highlighted. It will contain different links. So these hyperlinks are multiple job aids included in one. So if you're looking to do something specific like pull a payment, all you need to do is click on that link and it will take you directly to the steps. So we have multiple job aids, and this is where the efficiency comes in. We were able to pare down quite a few of the job aids and add them into one main one, all related to a particular page code. So the thing to remember with this is that everything is driven by page code. So if you need to do a search in Power DMS for some reason, you could just go to the search box in Power DMS, type in the page code, and it will take you to the documents that you may be looking for. So the before you begin section will have the security disclosures here, the warnings, and then it jumps right into directions. So these will be available to you very, very soon. We'll be making an announcement when you'll be able to access them directly. But again, please let people know that these things may be changing. So, as we get used to things and as process changes and as we get used to the application, the job aids are going to be updated accordingly. And that's all I have for you today.
Now we can go to cutover activity. We'll pass it to Chappelle Fisher, the best senior advisor, to walk us through some of the activities.
Hey, yay, here we go. How you doing, everyone? So we are heading into the home stretch here. Again, we need to wait for our sponsors, so I don't want to get too far ahead, but everything is looking very well right now. So on Monday, it will be February 9th, and we will start the cutover process. You've seen this slide several times, and because we had that January plan before, I think a lot of departments have taken excellent steps to be in great shape for when we do the cutover next Thursday afternoon. But to highlight, once again, we will be running payroll on Tuesday, normal payroll cycle. We will then be processing all our transactions as we usually do. We hope you have been working with your payments teams, other revenue teams to process as many transactions to final as you believe need to happen. For those transactions that go to a pending status, those are the ones we really want to focus on next week. In general, I would say there's 3 types. We have department-specific pending transactions. So you need to work with your department hierarchy to make sure all transactions that should be processed are processed to final before the system comes down at 3 o'clock on Thursday the 12th. If you're working with the comptroller's office, in general, we're saying to get everything in pending by Wednesday so that comptroller's office can work with your transactions and your backup documentation on Thursday and bring everything that should be brought to final. There's one very small exception. It applies to just a few departments, but for those of you working with CMIA, if you have a CH transaction, because the CMIA cycle is going to be pushed up a day, we need to have those transactions in the system on Tuesday. And as I said, this is a very limited audience, but those CHs would need to be in the system on Tuesday. So on Wednesday, the comptroller's office could process them. So all along since December, we hope you've been cleaning up draft transactions that will never be needed again, because we don't want to bring over old junk from the system into the new system. We want to have as clean as we can. We will be bringing over, as we've said in the past, 3 years worth of data, fiscal 23, 24, 25, and then 26 to date. So if any of those have draft transactions, those would come forward. So please, take care of them. And then on Thursday afternoon, we have been working with all the departments that do interfaces. So we have plans for everyone. We're communicating with those departments directly and hope to hear from everybody by end of day today. We have heard from most, but we have plans in place to process all interfaces through the Thursday night cycle, do return files as expected, and then Mars will close for the final time. And the CIW, once all transactions have been processed, will be updated. So final activity will be available at some point on Friday. This may be an extended cycle and it may be a little later in the morning. We can't tell for sure, but we know everybody is trying to get all the work done that they can. So that is the major component. Then we are quiet for 5 days, business days, while the conversion happens. For any of you that are communicating with your vendors, please know that on VendorWeb already, there is a message for them, letting them know that there is a system conversion and that there will not be payments going out during that time. But we are, as we've said in past meetings, we are doing a selection of payments through the 22nd of February. And those payments would be expected to be in the bank on the 17th of February. And that's part of the message on VendorWeb. So that should be the final process for Mars. And then we will be opening Mosaic. We're looking at, hopefully we'll be up on Friday. We'll do validation. The comptroller's office will be the first ones in. We have some priority work that we will process through the weekend. And then Mosaic will be fully open for department access on Monday, February 23rd. So you want to go to the next slide? I think I covered it a lot here, but just to one more time, final cleanup, February 11th, February 12th. Get your transactions into final where possible and get rid of old transactions. For VCC specifically, because, we will put all transactions that are impending that we can't complete, we will return them to draft so that all transactions that were impending, not processed, will be in draft when Mosaic opens on the 23rd. But we want a reminder that we need the paperwork for vendors because that is a high volume at all times of year. Some other times of year are quieter. Review any payments that are on hold. See if you should release them before the final Mars cycle on the 12th. Otherwise, those will go over to Mosaic. And Mars does close at 3 o'clock for all departments. So please plan that Thursday accordingly so that all your work is done. And then comptrollers will complete what they can for, again, those pending transactions. We have the blackout period, no financial system available. And anybody that is doing an interface with us, they know that we're going to be moving to the new format. Those have all been tested and approved, and that's wonderful. And we will be opening, if testing on the 20th weekend, we will open for everybody on the 23rd. And then finally, this is part of the message that is on VendorWeb as far as the scheduling of payments. Again, I spoke to it, but here it is in writing, and you'll get this deck. And you can check VendorWeb at any time because it's already there. And then for the CIW itself, as I mentioned, the CIW will run once the final Mars cycle is complete, and it will open on Friday for departments when the system is finished. Then from Saturday till the Sunday, the 22nd, you will have the CIW available to you at any time. The Mars data is stable at that point. No other transactions will ever process. And then on Monday, it is expected that CIW will open with Mosaic data. And those would be the few things that we did work through with the weekend, including payroll and LCD. That would open on Monday, the 23rd. And that is that. If you have any further questions, we're always available to you. And I believe I'm turning it over to Mike Sengeling, our Chief of Communications and Cutover Solutions.
Thank you so much, Jabbo. I'm here to talk about the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk, which is going to be the main way that users can reach out to the Office of the Comptroller and the BEST program looking for support. Next slide, please. So we realize that this is going to be new for everyone, that everyone is going to be having some challenges as simple as how do I log in, or my roles aren't exactly what they used to be, or more technical or transaction specific issues that they may be having. The Mosaic Go Live Help Desk is set up to get to your inquiry as soon as possible. In most circumstances, you can expect a response within a single business day, but we do anticipate being able to get to most questions much, much sooner than that. How are we going to do that? We have more than 65 people between the BEST program and the Office of the Comptroller helping to support what we're calling the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk. That's a team made up of customer support specialists, readiness liaisons, functional and technical leads. They are folks that have deep knowledge of the processes, as well as the system, Mosaic, the application itself. And so again, it's BEST program folks that have been working on Mosaic for months, if not years. And then it's Office of the Comptroller experts who can help with your transaction, do an override, anything that they need to do to help you get on your way with the transaction. We're hoping that that because we have this collaboration of BEST and CTR working together on your ticket, that we will be able to expedite the process for you and get you on your way. The Mosaic Go Live Help Desk will also have extended availability from what you were used to. For the week of Go Live, we will be open at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. Week 2, we will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then from week 3 and beyond, we will consider the number of tickets coming in, the complexity of tickets coming in, and we will share what the schedule will be through Mosaic Monday, CTR Weekly Update, as well as the Mosaic Resource Library website that you all have been using to get all of your updates and resources. But we eventually hope to get the availability back to 9 to 4:30 p.m., which is what is the current operating schedule of the CTR solution desk. Important to note, the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk is operating in parallel to the CTR solution desk. We ask that all Mosaic related tickets go through the Go Live Help Desk. The good news for all of you is that the process for submitting a ticket will look very familiar to users who have used the CTR solution desk in the past. You can contact the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk through ServiceNow tickets. There'll be a portal, which I will show you in a minute. You can email a new email address. You can call a new phone number. And you can also directly outreach to the readiness liaisons that you are comfortable working with. All of those outreach methods will go into CTR ServiceNow, and I will demonstrate what that's going to look like for users who are submitting a ticket that way. If you'll allow me to share my screen. So we will publicize the link to this new ticketing form, and it looks a lot like the solution desk form, but this is what it's going to look like for contacting the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk. You'll be asked to type in a subject. In this case, I'm going to type in, I can't, and I'm scrolling in here to make it easier to see. I can't find the IE transaction. I'm able to log in okay, but I can't seem to find the IT transaction. Type of issue, I'm going to select from access or security, interface, outage or page error, table change requests, technical, transaction processing, or rejected documents. In this case, I think my I think my issue is mostly related to transaction processing. If I have an existing Mosaic transaction code, I can select from the list here. And if I have a specific transaction ID number, I can input it here as well. In this case, with this question, I can't even find the IE transaction. So I won't put in a transaction ID. If I would prefer a callback rather than have this go through email, I can put that in as well, but it's probably going to be easier for most users to have your ticket processed through the portal. If you want, say, your supervisor to be added to this field, you can add them here as well. But I'm going to submit it, and it's as easy as that. It goes into the ServiceNow platform, and I can wait to hear back, and I will get notifications through my email address. You don't need any kind of new login for this. If you have worked with the CTR ServiceNow Solution Desk platform in the past, that will be the same exact login for this system as well. So how will contact information for the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk be shared? We will publish the link to the portal that you just saw. We will publish the new email address and the new phone number during the cutover period next week, the following week, the week of the 16th, and you'll have all of that information ahead of Go Live, although this Mosaic Go Live Help Desk will not be staffed until the morning of Go Live, February 23rd. We will put that in Mosaic Monday, the weekly update. We'll post it on the Mosaic Resource Library, and readiness liaisons will be able to share that as well, so that that information will be out there for everyone. The turnaround time, as I said, we'll get to your inquiry as soon as possible. We have plenty of people that will be taking tickets, and we will certainly get to it within one business day. And again, we believe we'll be able to respond to you much sooner than that, given just the amount of people we have answering tickets and answering phone calls. Can I still contact the CTR Solution Desk to get assistance on non-Mosaic questions? And the answer is yes. Tickets for non-Mosaic questions like access to Power DMS, the CTR intranet, CTR Learning Center, all of those will still go through the CTR Solution Desk. If you happen to submit one to the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk, we will get it to the right people. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Question number 4, is it better to call, email, or submit a ticket? We strongly recommend that you submit a ticket through the portal that I just saw. This will enable our analysts to most quickly answer your ticket. It also allows you to add attachments, screenshots. If you need a walkthrough of a process, we can set that up through the Mosaic portal, the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk portal. But there is also the option to email or call if you are more comfortable doing that. And finally, how long will the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk be available to users after Go Live? We will have this system and this new portal set up at least through the end of March. We will measure the need for ongoing support based on, again, the volume and complexity of the tickets coming in. And we will, at some point, merge the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk with the OG CTR Solution Desk, which will be the permanent home for Mosaic tickets. But we wanted to set the Mosaic Go Live Help Desk up for extended hypercare support during the first 5 to 6 weeks, and maybe up to 10 weeks after Go Live. Again, we are in extended hours for at least the first 2 weeks, but the Go Live Help Desk will be in effect for at least through the end of March. And I will turn it over to Jim Stella to talk about attachments. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here to talk to you and show you a little bit about attachments in Mosaic. Why don't we move forward? Excellent. Now, before I show you a demo, I want to make you aware of what the Go Live specifications are. Okay, firstly, we are only accepting PDF documents as attachments at Go Live. The maximum size per attachment is 3 megabytes, and that's roughly 100 pages in a PDF format. Also, there is a maximum of 4 attachments per transaction. And so please keep that in mind when you think about the transactions. This may change as we move forward, but this is officially what is acceptable in Mosaic at Go Live for attachments. Okay. Now I'd like to take a few minutes to actually show you how that particular function works in Mosaic. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I add and view an attachment. Specifically note, you do this when your transaction is in draft phase. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. I'd like to make sure everybody can see. So let me know, please, when we are good.
This demonstration will illustrate the steps required to add an attachment to a transaction in Mosaic. There are 2 options available to add an attachment when a transaction is in draft phase. On a tab by using the Attachments button, or in a line by using the attachment icon. Select the option in the area where you wish to attach the file. Please take note of the instructions prior to uploading. The desired file can be dragged and dropped into the attachment field, or you can browse to locate the file. Select the file type and then optionally add descriptive comments. Click Upload. Once the file has been successfully uploaded, the Attachment tab will indicate the number of associated attachments. This total is relative to where the file is uploaded. You can also use this tab to view and manage the file. To view all attachments, use the Smart menu. A red circle indicates that there is additional information for the transaction. Click Menu. Then select the attachment icon. This will display all associated attachments for this transaction.
A few more pieces of information here that you should be aware of. First and foremost, any security role that you have will affect how you can interact with an attachment. So users can only access authorized transaction attachments. Okay. Also, too, because an attachment becomes an extension of a transaction, they follow the entire life cycle, which means, again, you can only modify or add when you're in draft phase. Okay. Once you go to pending all the way through final, you do not have the capability to modify your particular attachments. Also, you can delete attachments. In some cases, they will be marked as pending delete. Usually, they automatically delete or they instantly delete, but in some cases, they'll be marked as pending. What that means is the attachment will not be deleted until the transaction reaches its final phase. We can move forward.
Thank you very much, Jim.
I'm going to jump in for a second. Jim, it's Jess Cogswell. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to put one note on those attachments, right? This doesn't override your internal policy or records retention, right? This is just a means to attach documents. So you should still follow that guidance that you have. It doesn't replace any of that when you go and use it. And I know comptrollers will be issuing some more guidance and some different things about transactions and how we're going to be using attachments. And yes, attachments are optional. They are not mandatory, and we will, like I said, there will be more communication as we all kind of grow and learn more about Mosaic, about how we're going to use that. But it is very exciting to have it.
Thank you very much, Jessica. All right, we have reached the next steps. From here, where do we go? On the following slide, this is just a recap of what we have discussed earlier. We have been sharing so many resources, so much information, and we want you to walk away with what is really should be the focus between now and go live. We are looking forward for you to share these resources with all of the users within your agency to make sure they are aware of the Mosaic Resource Library. This is where all of the updates, the resources, the major announcements, the instruction before go live, including the pre-cutover, will be at. Another reminder is to save Mars favorite pages, to look at the crosswalk, review with your team the pre-cutover activity calendar, as well as the training and the requirement for browsers for Mosaic. Some of the items that are considered actionable from here is to ensure the number one priority right now probably would be to make sure that the users are enrolling and taking training. We are about 2 weeks away from going live with Mosaic. We understand that some of the agencies have done a great job taking the training, but we also see that number of users have not completed the training needed to prepare them to go with the Mosaic go live smoothly. So another area that we would like to stress here to make sure the navigational, Mosaic navigational and terminology training is taken by everyone, as this is the foundational training for Mosaic. Also, please set aside time to answer questions from your agency users, any concern that they have before, during the cutover, as well as after and post the go live. Another reminder here is to stay connected with your readiness liaison. They are here to support you through this transformation. Any question, any concern, please feel free to reach out to them. Now we will open it for question and answer. I just want to remind the team that we will answer your question during this meeting, but for any question that weren't put in the chat or that comes after the meeting, please feel free to send those to the transformational email. Now I'd like to open it for general Q&A. Yes, so one question that I just saw in the chat, we always make the recording of the video of the meeting as well as the slides, the meeting minutes available for the participants once they are complete, and the question that come in the chat, they also will be part of the meeting minutes. So if you look at the previous meeting minutes, you will see the Q&A that we're asking in the chat were answered and included. They are posted in the SharePoint available for the Change Agent Network. Any other question in the chat?
We've got one from Jason Cohen. Do we have a link to the Go Live checklist?
Yeah, I think we can include we can provide additional information. We can answer that as a part of our follow-up with the meeting minutes to the meeting. Stuart, any other questions?
Yeah, Beatrice was vendors often ask for support documents for rejected transactions. Will departments be able to attach further forms when the transaction's in reject status?
So yes, if it's in a rejected because it went back to the user, it's editable, like they can edit it, they will be able to further add more attachments if they need to. But again, the attachments do not override any email boxes or SharePoint or DocuSign. Those still have to be done.
Right, Stuart, any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through. I think, Tiffany, I want to look for a little bit more clarification around the notification. If a transaction's awaiting approval in Mosaic, you said it goes into their work list. Do they get an actual notification, or is it simply in their work list?
I don't know about the notifications. I'm not sure if they've turned on the emails. That I wouldn't be able to answer that question, but it does show up in their work list on their homepage, or if they navigated to the work list through the widgets on the top.
As of this time, as far as I know, there would not be email notifications. We would love to have that happen in the future, but right now you check your work list.
And then another one for you, Helen. Will we know by Monday if the sponsors have approved Go Live?
Well, I will, and I guess I can share it with you guys. I don't know what the communication vehicle is, but we will make sure that you are aware.
For the questions that we have in the chat, if anybody else says, if I've missed one or if somebody wants to have a further explanation, please put it in the chat or raise your hand.
And again, all the questions in the chat, they will be part of the meeting minutes that we will share once the slides and the video recording and the meeting minutes are ready to be distributed.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks. Next CAN will be on February 19th. Thank you very much for your time today, and we look forward to the next CAN forum. Thank you again. Have a great afternoon.